Hello and welcome to PCMINR.com, and you're watching this video on important concepts from current electricity by Sonal Gupta. And the topic for this video is Kirchoff's first law, or we also call it as Kirchoff's current law. The Kirchoff's current law is quite simple to understand in a way that just imagine if there is a parking lot, right? So, and it might have different entries here and one here, and it might have different exits, say 1, 2 and 3 here. So you have to understand that whatever number of cars would enter this parking lot, whatever number will enter, right, from here, one more, then one more, and then another, then another, then another. So if there are, say, 15 different cars which are parked in this parking lot, then finally after the time is over, they will get out of the parking lot, maybe from different exits. So might be 3 come from here and 8 come from here and 4 come from here, depending on the availability of the path and the clearance of the path. So, but whatever number of cars has entered this parking lot, the same number of cars would exit. It should not be less than that. It can't be more than that. So, just the same way we have the Kirchoff's current law, which says that if at a point on a junction there is some amount of current entering, say I have I1 and I have another current entering at I2. So let this be my junction. So at this junction, the current entering is I1 and I2, like I1 and I2. Then the amount of current that would leave this junction, say I3, I4 and I5, that has to be the same. So if we say it's I3, I4 and I5, it's just that you have 3 different paths for these 2 currents to go out. So the amount of current will remain constant. So what we are trying to tell in Kirchoff's law is that I1 plus I2 is equal to I3 plus I4 plus I5. That means the amount of current that enters the junction, the total current that enters the junction would be equal to the total amount of current that exits the junction, right? Or overall we can also define it in a way that summation I is 0. So how can we state Kirchoff's law? If you just have to look at this expression, you can easily put it into words, which says that the algebraic sum of all the currents meeting at a point or a junction in a closed electric circuit is 0. So let me write the statement. So the statement says the algebraic sum of all the currents meeting at a junction in a closed circuit is 0. So when we say the summation I is 0, we are just trying to predict that whatever amount of current enters the circuit, the same amount of current would leave the circuit. So there can't be a current entering or exiting more than the other number. So I1 plus I2 is equal to I3 plus I4 plus I5. One thing that you need to take care while solving a junction circuit, while applying the numericals, would be that you have to remember that the currents that enter, right, that points towards the junction, the current that points towards the junction, that means we are talking of the current that is entering, is considered to be positive, and the current that is pointing away from the junction, that means the current which is leaving the junction, so it points away from the junction, it is considered to be negative. Therefore, when I had drawn the current loops here, so you would understand that, like, if this is a circuit, here this is another junction, a current entering the junction, and this is one going out, this is the one going out, then if I mark this is I1, this is positive, I2, this is positive because they are pointing towards the junction, and these two are pointing away from the junction. Therefore, I3 and I4, if I mark them as I3 and I4, they would be negative. So obviously it gives us the condition that I1 plus I2, and when I say plus I3 and plus I4, it actually means minus I3 and minus I4 because they are negative, and that is going to be 0. That is what Kirchhoff's first law or the Kirchhoff's current law is all about. I hope you understood the Kirchhoff's first law. In the next video, we'll come up with the Kirchhoff's second law, which is often called the Kirchhoff's voltage law. If you find this video helpful, please like us, subscribe us and follow us on Instagram and Facebook at PCMINR.com. Thank you for watching.